Hello, everyone. My name's Sean Fahey, and welcome to the very first Age of Sigma video that we're doing for Gladstone Tournaments. Um, sorry, I've got two videos in the background. So we're already stuffed up. So I've got my co-host tonight. Now, rumour is that he's a consort of Illyrial. It's Aidan Duncan. Thanks for coming on the show, mate.
Thank you for having me, Sean. I may be enjoying the trees, but I'm a rat at heart.
So you want to dig into those roots, don't you?
Exactly. Look, it's a symbiotic relationship.
Well, that's good to hear. But so what we might do is get stuck into these lists. We might have another person joining us shortly. But yeah, see how we go. Right, so you've got those lists, Aidan?
Yes, I do. Where would you like to start?
Well, I'll just screen share, so hopefully this is going to work. So we might as well start at your list.
Cool. Bring up my list to remind myself. Okie dokie.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. So since this is your list, you can explain it.
So I'm relatively new to Age of Sigma, and as I hinted to earlier, I am a Skaven player at heart. So I've always liked big chaff, hoardy units, and really powerful magic. So I've kind of gone with something similar here under the Sylvaneth. So we've got overall in the army, we've got the Nullroot Wargrove, which makes all of our Tree Lord Ancients, Branch Wraiths, and Branch Witches level 2 casters instead of level 1. So 6 spells in the list instead of 3 normally. And then we essentially just have more or less cherry-picked units out of the book then to then just fill up the rest. So we have a big top hit of 30 Dryads, and then we have Durthu with Gaia Strike for the awesome hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s, flat 6 damage, and then just 2 units of 3 Kurnoth Hunters with Scythes, because it's just easier to get Scythes into combat than it is with the Great Swords. And then we have the Geminids of Ungolish. So looking there to stack up the negatives to keep the blob of Dryads alive some more, and then the Aether Void Pendulum to go drop on people as they try and kill Dryads with neg 2 to hit and 3 up save, because we're going to be sitting in trees like the pansies we are. And then basically Durthu's just going to walk around and smack stuff. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes.
See how we go.
See how it goes. So lots of trees, lots of board control and potential movement shenanigans with Navigate the Realm Routes.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I don't know why, because when you're talking, the list isn't showing, so I don't know what's going on there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can.
That's all right. It's what I say. First time. I'm sure we'll work out the kinks.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you can see, those that are watching, this is Aidan's list. So he's got his Branch Witch, Tree Lord Ancient with his Oaken Armor, a Branch Wraith with the artifact Acorn of Ages. Then we've got the Spirit of Durthu, who's your general, Guard Walk. So command trait is Guard.
Warrior.
Thank you.
And Gaia Strike. So through the artifacts, for people who may not be familiar with Sylvaneth, is Oaken Armor is +1 to the armor save, so 2+ armor save on the Tree Lord Ancient, and his command ability is reroll 1s. So another tar pity unit there. The Branch Wraith has the Acorn of Ages, which is I get to summon a free Sylvaneth Wildwood within 3 inches of her, or more than 1 inch away from any terrain or other models. Basically, I'm just really bad at rolling a 4+ on my Tree Lord Ancient to summon more forests, so I spend I spend a artifact to ensure that my dice don't
Don't go the wrong
abandon
way.
me.
Yeah.
And then Spirit of Earthu with the Gaia Strike, which is the one weapon profile they gets +1 to hit and +1 to wound. So Derthu wounding on 2+ for his entire life, hitting and wounding on 2+ to go smack some fools around. And then yeah, just 30 Dryads for the top hit. 2 lots of Tree Revenants. One's there for the Household Battalion. The other's just there because it's a cheap battle line. And then 2 Kurnoth Hunters to round out the punching power, with the Branch Witch there to summon more Dryads, because you can never have enough trees to go top hit people.
And what do both the battalions do?
So the Gnarlroot Wargrove makes all my casters, besides Alorial, in the entire army, so Tree Lord Ancients, Branch Raids, and Branch Witches, makes them level 2 wizards instead of level 1, so 6 spells in total in the list. And the Household, let me just look it up, because it's really not that great most of the time, and I forget that it's even a thing. Enemy units can't retreat from the Tree Lord Ancient, the Branch Witch, or one of the units of Tree Revenants. Now, normally the Household Battalion requires a Tree Lord, not a Tree Lord Ancient, but because of the Gnarlroot Wargrove, it changes that requirement to a Tree Lord Ancient.
Okay, well, that's all right. And then, of course, the Geminis are there just to give the neg 1 to hit.
Neg 1 to hit, and if I'm lucky, also neg 1 attack on something else prominent, but mainly just trying to stack the negatives there.
Yeah.
And the Pendulum there to go kill
Mortal
up
wounds,
stuff,
yeah.
unfortunate enough to be stuck fighting trees and trees.
Yeah. All right, so pretty simple list, and yeah, so the total comes to 1980.
Yep.
So, all right, so we'll go on to the next one. Well, we might as well do all the trees now.
All the trees?
Yeah, all the trees.
So we'll do the tree and the sea then?
Yep, we'll do tree and sea.
Okay.
Just, there you go. Come on. So this is Matt Hubble. So he's Sylvaneth, Mortal Realms is Gairan. So he's bringing Alariel, the Everqueen, with Deepwood spell, Throne of Vines.
Which will give her plus D3 to casting and dispelling as long as she doesn't move. So trying to really focus on Aloriel's inbuilt level 3 casting there.
So yeah, so that's, so if she doesn't move, then she gets the D3.
Yes.
Yep.
And that buff stays there on the model until she moves again.
Okay.
So basically, realistically, there to probably throw out spells with Aloriel and shoot with her, because the shooting's not half bad either.
Yeah.
And then when needs to be, go charge people with a big beetle.
Cool. All right. Then Spirit of Duthu, he seems to be the general. Command trait War Singer. So this is a little bit different from your one. So what's War Singer?
Let me double check. From memory, I believe Warsinger is pluses to charging. Yeah, you can add 1 to any charge rolls made for friendly Sylvaneth units that are within 10 inches of your general.
Okay, so
So
that's within, not wholly within. Is that right?
Yes, because we are an old book, so it's just within.
Oh, well, so yeah, that's a pretty good one then.
Yes.
Before they change it.
So yeah, you can navigate the realm routes and then only have to make a 8-inch charge, or if you roll a 6, you move 5 inches.
Yeah.
So then it's only a 3-inch charge because of the +1 instead of a 4. So
Cool. Yep. So taking similar artifact to you, Guy and Strike.
Yep, just because Durthu hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s is silly not to take.
Yeah, it seems to be a common theme. Branchwood, so taking artifact to ran new land.
Hey.
Yeah.
Oh, who got on now?
That would be Ryan.
Hey, yeah, it's a bit longer than I thought it would be.
Hey, Ryan. So this is our other guest for the night. So Ryan is the Daughters of Cain player.
Only until I get my old goo elves.
So we're just going through the Sylvaneth list at the moment, and once we've done that, we might head over to the Daughters. You can explain your list.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So we'll keep going. So what did the artifact do?
So the Ranus are Lemurianter.
Mhm.
It adds +1 to all casting rolls made by the bearer, and +2 if it's a deep wood spell.
Okay.
So not their inbuilt spells, just the specific deepwood spells, which is regrow, which is it heals D3 wounds or D6 wounds if it's targeting a Sylvaneth model. So just trying to make sure that the regrow doesn't get dispelled and always goes off to try and keep Durthu and Aluriel up and alive.
Yep. All right. And then got another branch with artifact Hagbane Spite.
Hagbane Spite. Once per game, instead of attempting to unbind a spell, the bearer can send forth the Hagbane Spite to attack the caster. After resolving the spell, the caster immediately suffers D3 mortal wounds.
Oh, okay.
No range limit, just D3 mortal wounds instead of unbinding.
Yeah. Would you really want her in combat though?
It doesn't say that they have to be in combat.
Okay.
It's just instead of attempting to unbind a spell. So whenever someone goes to unbind, you just do D3 mortal wounds to them instead. But that's only once per game, and it doesn't appear to have a range limit.
Okay.
So you can, be sitting in a back corner and hit someone over the absolute other side of the table.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's all right. And then Verdant Blessing.
That is just the cast of a 6, I believe, to summon... cast of 6, and it's just setting up Sylvaneth Wildwoods anywhere within 18 of the caster, and not within 1 inch of any other model or terrain feature. So, just more trees, because I'm the only one running a Tree Lord Ancient this list, so they're relying on either Verdant Blessing or just the starting lot of forest that they get for being Sylvaneth.
Yep. I'm just getting told how to do the screen sharing a bit better, so hopefully it might work.
Fingers crossed.
Let's go. Okay, I think it's working. Just talk, Aidan, for me.
Test. 1, 2.
Yep.
Cool.
So thanks, Anthony, for that. I appreciate it, mate. Yeah. Like I said, first time doing it, we're learning how to do everything. Yeah. All right, now you can keep talking. So we're on to the units now.
So we've got some watery elves in here. These are the attack Ely riders.
Yep.
Basically, just lots and lots of damage on the charge. So they've got 2 attacks each with their spears, which are 3s to hit and 3s to wound. No rend, 1 damage. Then their mounts have 1 attack at 3s to hit, 3s to wound. That does D3 damage. And then the mounts also have D3 attacks with the tail, and that's 3s to hit, 3s to wound.
Yeah.
4 wounds each, 4 up save, 14-inch move, and they can do some mortal wounds once per battle.
Yeah, that's the what was it, the Voltaic Blast.
Blasts. Yep, that's the one. And on the turns that they perform a charge move, their Ren characteristic of the spears, which were the 2 attacks by the riders on 3s and 3s, become Ren neg 2 and 2 damage on the charge.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
big charge move, and then probably, well, they wouldn't actually get all the bonuses from the tidal wave.
No, because it's a Sylvaneth.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how effective they actually are in the Sylvaneth army.
I think what he's probably going to use him as pretty much as a harasser, and then when he needs to release that once per battle ability, because that's what is it? So if you do it, you roll one dice for each model.
Once per battle at the start of the combat phase, you can say that this unit will unleash its Bovetic energy stored in the Volt Spears. If you do, roll 1 die for each model in this unit. On 3+, pick an enemy unit within 3 inches of this unit. The unit suffers 1 mortal wound. For each 6+, the unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. So that also doesn't take up their attack. So lots of damage once per game when you need to really kill that one thing.
Yeah.
And he's taking the Forest Folk Battalion for Sylvaneth, which will be to actually make his Harvest Boon Wargrove. Forest Folk, basically just once per game, it lets the Dryads deep strike without the need to come out of trees. It's just anywhere in your territory. So once per battle in your hero phase, the Forest Folk can vanish along the spirit paths, remove all the models in this battalion, and set them to one side. Then set them up. Then set each of the units up anywhere within your territory or within 3 inches of a Sylvaneth Wildwood. So it's navigate the realm routes without needing to be within 3 inches of a Sylvaneth Wildwood already, or just to get back into your deployment zone if you're in an unfavorable position.
Okay.
And then the Harvest Boon Wargrove. It's got a little bit. Harvest Boon, so all the branch wraiths have +1 to their casting from this Wargrove. So overall, the Rego branch wraith has +3 to her casting. So really just trying to make sure that Regrowth gets off to top up Spirit Durthu and Aloriel.
Yep. That's about it, isn't it, really?
They also get to add 1 to all their run and charge rolls, so synergizing with Warsinger there for +2 to the charge roll.
Okay.
And then they get a specific relic, which he hasn't taken, so we won't bother casting that. So yeah, really just +1 on the branch wraiths, and the +2 inches to Durthu and the Dryads charging.
I know.
And with 2 branch rays, obviously going to try and summon in even more Dryads as the game continues.
Yeah, you can't have enough Dryads, eh?
No. Hundreds of them, mate.
Hundreds of them. Yeah, so the total of that is exactly 2,000 points, so that's a pretty good list.
Yes, and one thing to mention with Aluriel is that you'll get a free Tree Lord or a free unit of Kurnoth Hunters out of her too, so she's a lot cheaper than her 600 points might imply.
Okay. Alright, we'll go on to the next one. So this is Lord of the Heart 2,000 points by Haley Burrell.
Yep.
I apologise if I pronounce people's surnames incorrectly.
It's okay. I will butcher everyone's name, and I am eternally sorry for it.
Yep. And again, Sylvaneth in the Mortal Realms, Gairan.
It's like Gaia Strike on Durthu is really good or something.
I don't know why that would be.
Oh, no, neither do I. I like my flat 6 damage weapon hitting and wounding on 2s. That
Yep.
sounds good.
So this is a little bit similar to the last list, except a few different artifacts on the branch wraith.
Yeah, so the locket itself, when I get there, because I have misplaced the page like a silly duffer. Here we go. So the circlet is plus 6 inches to the maximum range of every spell that the bearer knows.
Oh, okay.
So looking for, I believe that puts, let me double check, I believe that puts Regrow up to like a 24-inch spell that doesn't need line of sight.
Oh,
So, Regrow, it is 18 inches base, yes, so 24 inches not requiring line of sight for D6 healing.
okay.
And then the Lemerit again on the branch wraith with Throne of Irons, so +2 to her Deepwood spell because of that,
Yeah.
or +1 to all of our other casting, and then Throne of Irons is an extra D3 every time you cast or attempt to dispel. So just really trying to push those spells through.
Yeah, that's it. Then I say same thing with Duthu. Everyone's got the same thing.
Yeah, this one is running Gnarled Warrior, which was the one that I'm running, which is he heals D3 wounds at the start of every turn, so
Yep.
even more healing on him. 40 Dryads and 3 Kurnoth Hunters with Greatswords. So the Greatswords have more attacks than the Scythes and are flat 2 damage instead of D3, so much more reliable, but because they're only a 1-inch reach, much harder to generally get them into combat with their 50 mil bases. But this player hasn't taken Verta Blessing and basically any other way to generate more forests. So he's not really planning to play in Wildwoods. So
No.
he will probably have a much easier time getting the Kurnoth Hunters into a position where they can all strike.
Now this is going to be Haley's first time doing it, so like I said, I know she's been practicing this one a little bit, so
Yep.
it would be good to see this. And then, of course, the battalions are similar to the last one.
Yeah, the Forest Folk is the deep striking anywhere in your territory, and the Harvest Boon Wargrove is the same one as last time. So the branch rates are +1 to cast,
Yep.
and +1 to all the charging. So much
And then-
easier to get everything into combat.
And then she's taken the Endless Spells, Quicksilver Swords.
Which honestly shouldn't be 20 points. They should be more like 40, because they are disgustingly good for 20 points.
Oh, well, 2019 is just around the corner, so we might see some point adjustments.
Yeah,
I don't know they'd be worth
hopefully.
it. I don't know they'd be worth it for 40 points.
I agree from the point until you take it from a Chaos player's point of view, and they are disgusting for 20 points.
I mean, I suppose if you're playing Chaos in Realm of Metal, that's, 18 dice? Mortal wounds on 5 up?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's disgusting. Like, even as a Skaven player, who I'm normally like, I don't care if you kill these models, it's still disgusting. So, very, very efficient endless spell there, in my opinion. And because if they come up against Chaos, it's a great spell, and you don't really have to worry about it backfiring on you that much, because it's half as effective against you as it is against the Chaos player that you just got matched up with. So
Apparently, Connor just told me that Haley's Alariel has Verdant on it.
Verdant Blessing, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, there's her way to get extra woods. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Not
And
that I think you wanted spells to be declared anyway, so
well, I think some people are just going to be going stuck with that
just
spell because
used
they
to
know,
yeah.
especially when it comes to Sylvaneth, where you just want those spells.
Yeah, like Throne of Vines, Verdant Blessing are fairly set. There are a couple that you might swap around depending on what you're fighting, but most of the Deepwood spells are either quite or they're set, and the ones that are set are the ones that we've seen today: Regrow and Throne of Vines.
Yeah. So just for those that don't know, will the tournament's got the realm effects in place. So whatever table you're on, you can use those realm effects, so those spells. So just so everyone knows. And what I decided is that you can choose your spell before the start of battle. So if you want to use those realm spells, you can.
Yes, which is another factor of why I personally ran the Nullroot Wargrove, to take absolute advantage of the free stuff as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because we like free stuff.
Especially the burning trees.
Yes, burning trees are great. Don't always be scared of the flaming tree running at you, because it has rerolls.
So Horace, we've got myself, you got Aiden and Ryan. So Haley's list is a total of 2,000. So since we've got Ryan, we might as well roll onto your list. So Ryan Kennedy's. Right. So the man that likes to re-roll ones and then after turn 3 re-roll everything.
The man who was like, 40k is really nice with rerolls. What? I want to play the army that has that in Sigma.
Yeah.
So get enough rolls.
Yeah. So just so everyone knows, you've been playing this army for a good year, haven't you?
Variations of this one.
Yeah, variations this one. And then ARS Coach did a video about the Daughters of Cain. I apologise, but I can't remember who you had on it, Coach. And I shared that list to you, and you just went, "Oh, I didn't know about this."
I hadn't thought about.
Yeah.
On a job.
So I sort of ramped you up, didn't I? Turn that knob to 100.
Look, it's fine if he would just roll average, okay? Making 10 5-up saves with free rolls on 12 wounds is not okay. Alright? You all have permission to throw stuff at him at the tournament if he does it to you.
I mean, to be fair, your dice rolling was just as bad as my rolling was good that game.
Yes, you still make too many saves. Anyway.
You couldn't make any.
But all right, well, might as well get into your list, Ryan.
Yeah, so the Temple, Hagnar, it's honestly generally viewed as sort of being easy mode for Daughters. Base ability is that on turn 3, where Daughters normally get reroll once to hit, you just get to reroll all misses. Forces my general ability to be, how would they call it? It's not on the list here. Devoted Disciples, which is units within 7 of her, or with a model within 7, get a 5-up Fanatical Faith roll instead of a 6-up. So, sort of generally trying to keep them stacked around there.
Yep.
The Blood Racks for the general, because that makes the Blood Sisters battle line. They're not otherwise.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Otherwise, only Witch Elves and Sisters of Slaughter are battle line. Blood Rack Shrine is second caster, essentially, just has some more combat ability on it. Anyone within 7 inches of it takes mortal wounds on a 2-up, going down as it takes damage. Hag Queen, I mean, you want to talk disgustingly underpriced, that's it right there. 2 prayers, can use Witch Brew to give a unit rerolls to wound and immune to battle shock. One of the only one of the prayers can actually be from the prayer section. The other one has to be one of the inbuilt ones.
Yep.
Hag Queen on Cauldron of Blood, bit more appropriately priced because it gives the huge aura of +1 to saves and has a lot of attacks on it.
Yes, especially when that statue activates after turn 3.
Yeah. You got a bit of mistake there. The 20 Witch Elves, I'm pretty sure I put in the list I submitted to you. They're not pairs of sacrificial knives on the 20.
Oh, okay.
It's one sacrificial knife and a bladed buckler.
Yep. I noticed I forgot to put the artifacts on there too.
Yeah, the artifacts are missing too, and the general and the command trait.
Yeah. You might as well go through those.
Yeah, so the relics I've got is the Cauldron of Blood has the, I'm trying to remember what the name was. It was 1001 Dark Blessings, I think it was. It's the has the artifact to give them +1 to saving throw.
Yep.
Which basically means the base is 5 up, its own aura makes it a 4 up, and then that makes it a 3 up save. So 3 up save followed by the Fanatical Faith rolls makes it fairly tough to kill. The other artifact I have is on the Hag Queen. I forget the name of it.
That's the one to just give you additional
give an additional prayer, basically.
Yeah.
From the list.
Yeah.
So I've got the whichever 2 prayers I take. Generally going to be pretty consistent. Generally taking the one for 6s to hit, being 2 hits instead of 1, given how many attacks I get everywhere. It's going to be a few 6s in there, especially once the rerolls start coming in.
Oh, yes. Yep.
So the Witch Elves, it's 2 different sort of loadouts you can give them. The pairs of sacrificial knives basically is an extra attack. If they're near a character, that's an extra attack again. So you're looking with a pair of sacrificial knives, 3, 4 if they're near a character. But of course, it's only 1 inch range.
Yep.
The bladed buckler, you forgo the extra attack, but they get a 5 up save in combat instead of 6. And if you roll a 6 on their save, it's a wound back to the attacker.
Okay.
The life takers. The life takers are those ones. So the life takers are the combat harpies. They can basically put in as like circling the skies in reserve. They come on, 14-inch move on them, 2 attacks each. When they turn they charge, they are 2 damage instead of 1 damage. And after they've fought in combat on a 4 up, they disengage. So
Which do you like it when you get it?
Yeah, they jump in and jump out. Blood Sisters, they're sort of, I guess, they're the elite combat unit for daughters. The spears hit pretty hard, and they have a 4 up hit to do a mortal, which if you combine with the prayer for 6s to hit are 2 hits. That's basically 2 mortals off that. The Heartrenders are another unit of harpies that also sit in reserve. The turn they arrive, their spears are rend 2 instead of rend 1. Like the other harpies, they don't get that ability all the time. But they, instead of getting a free move on a 4 up after they fight, they get it after they attack. So they come in, attack on a 4 up, they get a free 6-inch move after making their spear attack, their spears.
Cool. So then, are they good in combat, or you rather just leave them as shooters?
Really depends. They're still decent in combat. I believe they're
still elves.
They're still elves in combat.
So they still mince like a lot of things above their pay grade.
Yeah,
It's disgusting.
And all of the harpies have the heart piercer shield, I believe they were called.
Yep.
They are 5 up save if they're in combat instead of a 6 up. As well as that, if you roll a 6 on their save, they will do a mortal wound back to the attacker.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's a lot of fun to put those against a unit that's going to just wail millions of attacks on them and just watch them kill a bunch of their own units.
Yep. So that's what your plan is also to do with the 20 that have the bucklers on as well.
Yeah, but the bucklers are only regular wounds, not mortals, so they're nowhere near as effective.
Yeah.
They're still good, but
just not as good.
Yeah.
And then the Cauldron Guard Battalion?
So the Cauldron Guard Battalion is the 2 units of Witch Elves, the 2 units of Life Takers, and both of the Hag Queens. Normally you can only get 1 Hag Queen, but the temple I have lets me take a Cauldron of Blood in addition to whatever I've taken normally. That can be either a Hag Queen or a Slaughter Queen. Normally the battalion can't have a Slaughter Queen in it, but in this case you can. Cauldron Guard, it's pretty simple. It gives me +1 to all my run and charge rolls.
Oh, okay.
Which, combined with the inbuilt reroll ones I have, gives me a decent, pretty decent chance of making runs and charges.
Out of curiosity, the bucklers on the Witch Elves, their wounds back, they only do that on an unmodified 6, so all your +1 armor save stackings get them to a
yes, so it's only
3-up save. Doesn't make it happen on a 3+.
No, I can't do that, but it also means that I'm rolling saves even if I can't make them, because I can still do damage back even if you've got me on like a 7+ save. If I roll a 6, you're still taking that damage.
Yep, so it's an unmodified 6.
Unmodified, yes.
Yes, because as we all learnt, is you do your roll, you apply your modifiers after you re-roll. So
no Kurnoth Hunters re-rolling -3 to their saves. That doesn't happen, folks.
No. Yeah. And then once you're getting your extra +1 on your charge, and that, of course, you're running the cogs.
The cogs, because then I've got +2 to my charge and +2 to my my move if I activate them. So I'm basically 8-inch move plus D6 +1 charge, rerolling the advance, rerolling the ones. The Witch Elf banners let them run and still charge. So I have that massive move, and then I have the 2D6 +3 rerolling ones for their charge.
Yeah.
So generally, I'm running across the whole table turn 1 if I want to.
So if you weren't aware, this is the Sonic list. This is Sonic impersonated by half-naked Witch Elves.
But as we all know, that cogs can also go against you if you go up against a similar sort of army that's all fast-paced.
That's it, yeah. Because it doesn't just give the +2 to move and charge to me, it gives it to my opponents as well. Now, the other way you can use it is to slow down time, in which case your caster instead gets an additional spell cast each turn.
Yeah.
And reroll ones. I think it's reroll ones to saves or rerolls to all saves. I'd have to double check that one.
It's one of the two. Mainly, you just want to go fast.
For this sort of army,
turn 1, go fast. Turn 2, I can throw more magic out. Well, turn 3 probably more, once I've gotten where I want to be.
Yeah. And then, of course, you got the Quicksilver Swords just to do some damage.
I had points left over.
Yeah.
And I had discussions previously about how a lot of, they're not affecting you as much as they're affecting Chaos. I have my Fanatical Faith on top of that, so I get a save against those swords if they hit me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just use them to try and force my opponent to give me turn 1.
As stated, disgusting.
It's basically give me turn 1 or you're taking a bunch of mortal wounds off these things.
Yeah,
especially for like Chaos characters too, because the swords move so fast. If you get them behind the lines and able to start sniping our characters with the mortal wounds just because the Chaos players want to go first, it is actually disgusting. They are really little efficient endless spell that
Yep. But yeah, so that's a pretty solid list. We'll see what happens. And that comes to a total of 1990. So, all right, what's the next one we'll pick? We might pick Josh's. Oops, wrong one. That's it. So, Josh Groth, he's choosing the Everchosen. I'll just make that. So I've spoken to Josh. He wants to come and play.
Mm-hmm.
So because it's going to be an odd number, he's going to let me play his army for, I think, 1 round, and then he's going to come down and take over after that. So
then he'll be able to make it. Cool.
Yep.
I was hoping that he would bring his Nurgle, but
No.
I'm quite concerned after seeing this list. I don't want to be on the other side of the table from it.
We do have a Nurgle player. We'll have to go to him soon. But
How much? Considering those endless spells are going to be borrowed from me, how much are you paying me to lose them?
Oh, is he borrowing those from you?
Yeah, he's borrowing those from me.
Okay, where's my hammer?
Yes. Yeah, well, I had a game with him today, and yeah, it was my Zinch, and I thrashed his Vanguard.
And then Archon just did Archon things.
Well, I got him down to the first level, and we called it at the start of turn 3 because he had pretty much just
Archon.
pretty much he only had 3 Vanguard left and 2 units.
Yep.
And he because he's got the Overlord of Chaos, which we'll go through. I just kept getting the first turn. I was like, yeah, I'm taking it. But so we'll go into the Everchosen. So this is the only Everchosen list we have. So he's taken Archeon, which is his general. He's taken the Gaunt Summoner of Zinch, with the artifact Chaos Talisman, which unfortunately he didn't leave the book behind, so I actually have no idea what that does.
Things and shenanigans.
Yes.
I personally like shenanigans more than things, but you know.
Yes, that's it.
It does chaosy things.
Chaosy things, yes. So then he's got 3 units of Vanguard. So he's taken the normal weapons. He's taken one with Demon Forge Blades, and then he's taken one with Foul Spears.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, Varangar are better Kurnoth Hunters. If you thought Kurnoth Hunters were awesome because they were a unit of heroes, essentially, Varangar are just better Kurnoth Hunters. It's disgusting. So the Enscrolled weapons are 6 attacks each, 3s and 3s, -1 rend, and 1 damage flat. The spears are 3s and 4s, -1, 2 damage, but on the charge they become wounding on 3s and redneck 2.
Yep.
And the blades are 4 attacks each, 3s and 4s, -1 and 1 damage. But
On a 6, they do a mortal wound.
yeah.
I think it's to wound, though, not to hit.
On a 6 to hit or more, the Demon Blade inside awakens. Roll a die to see what happens instead of making a wound roll. On a 2+, on a 2 or more, the attack afflicts an immortal wound as
Yep, and then on a 1.
And then on a 1, standard Demon Blades, they eat themselves.
Yep. Yeah. And then he's with the battalion, so the Overlords of Chaos. He sent this to me, so he's taken Dark Vizier. So that's where if Archon is within 3 of any Overlord Gaunt Summoner in the hero phase, you can demand a Boon of Prophecy. When he does, he rolls a dice, you hide it from your opponent. And on a 1, 2, or 3, it goes to your opponent. It takes the first turn, and then on a 4, 5, or 6, you take it.
Now, does that affect first turn?
So this foresight means that Archon will know in advance who will take the first turn in the next battle round.
So first turn's still decided by who deploys first, but after that he gets to know.
Yeah, and unfortunately this bit him on the ass. And I took, he got 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then the Will of the Everchosen, which is what I think he's more wanting to take, is should Archeon mark a unit for destruction, then the Vanguard will ensure its fate. So if Archeon is on the battlefield, the hero phase, pick a unit within 20 of them, or anywhere if the Gaunt Summoner is still alive. Until your next hero phase, they can re-roll failed hits and wounds on that unit.
Wow. Yeah. It's crazy. Is that just for the Vanguard? That's not for Archon himself?
No, that's just Vanguard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, Archon goes, see that unit there?
Yes.
I don't want to. And the Vanguard are like, sir, yes, sir. And then suddenly there's not a unit anymore.
That's it.
Awesome.
So, yeah. So, like I said, he's also taken the shackles because he's got
the Soul Snare Shackles or the Soul Snare Shackles. Say it too fast. Which is very minor mortal wound potential, but more so reducing the movement of other people.
Yeah, that's it. And then he's taken the Life Swarm because he wants to heal either Archeon or bring back a unit of a model of Vanguard.
I don't believe you can actually get a Varangar model back because I believe it's only D3 and
So
Varangar have more wounds.
I think it states on the Emerald Life Sworn is you heal up a unit of D3. If there is no wounds on that model unit to allocate, you can bring back D3 models or something.
No, I think it's that you can
So one
resurrect.
model.
You can resurrect a model, but it only gets as many wounds back. Something along those lines.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah.
I remember looking at it for Sylvaneth and going, it's not that good because it wasn't that great for bringing back.
I've never used it, so it's not one that's really fancy me. But the Vanguard also get a special ability where once per battle they can do a double piling, which I think is his anticipation to do, say, spell spears, because they can get the -2 flat.
-2 flat 2.
Yeah, damage twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's scary. -2 flat 2. You're gonna lose some things there.
Yeah. So you can't actually bring back a unit of Vanguard because it has the 5 wounds. It must be only 1 wound models that Emerald Life Swarm affects.
Yeah.
So he'll be using it just to heal Archeon.
Or to heal the Vanguard themselves
Yeah.
as well, because they're not exactly easy to bring down either.
No. Because they've got not only are they a 3-up, but any magic that affects them, so you target, they have a 4-up immunity.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
so if you're going up against a high magic army, it's like, I'll just roll power 4s. But again, like we had a battle and out of probably the, I don't know, 15 or 16 spells, he only got probably 4-ups. So
it's still a coin toss. So.
Yeah, it is. It's a 50-50. So so like I say, it's a
and it is just affected. Affected by a spell cast by an enemy wizard, so it doesn't save him from endless spells.
No, and I don't know if they've done an FAQ on it. I would have to look, but if they haven't, they're probably waiting for the update.
They're probably waiting for the book.
Yeah. I mean, maybe the coach might have an answer. But, so coach is saying that Life Swarm should have been a spell portal because I agree with you because you just want to get more range on those spells. But so he's just got an extra command point. Okay. Oh, he'll be using the Archeon spell so he can re-roll charges as well, fail charges. And as long as Archeon is on there, he gets a +1 to hit. This is Vanguard.
Or the Vanguard get +1 to hit and
So
re-roll
they're
charges.
essentially hitting on 2s.
Yes.
Unless there's anything that gives them a -1 or whatever.
All I'm seeing is hide in trees and feel bad when he rolls 1s for the Vanguard.
I'm pretty sure that's pretty much what you do anyway. It's just hide in the trees.
Look, I'm a pansy, okay? I play rats and trees, okay? Rats run away and the trees hide. Like, it's just in my nature, okay?
Yeah, so the total there is 1980 points. So we'll see how that goes. I think he's going to struggle just unit-wise, trying to get those objectives.
Well, considering that he didn't think he was going to come, I'm pretty sure he just fell back onto this of the fact of it's very few models to move, and
Yeah, I don't know whether that Overlords of Chaos Battalion's worth it. I'll probably get rid of the Life Swarm and maybe swap it for a portal and see if I can get another unit of Vanguard in there. But like I say, we'll see how it goes. Should be a fun, because I don't think you'll see many ever chosen on the battlefield. So
I would just like to point out he has a total of 11 models on the table. But he has a cumulative 70 wounds on the list.
Yes. Yeah, because
things are
20.
not dying very fast, gentlemen and ladies.
Yeah. So that's that one done. We've done the trees.
That would be dwarves.
Yep, Ryan Alexander. We'll do him next. Okay. So he's playing not a real army. Like For those who understand that inside joke, they'll get it. So he's playing Legion of Asgore.
Chaos Dwarfs.
Chaos Dwarfs, yes.
And wishes that he wasn't a Forge World book, so he got the love and attention that everyone else did.
Yes.
Gone are the days of Forge World making everything busted, and are the days of making everything so timid that it's generally not worth taking.
I'm pretty sure Forge World's just like they're so concerned about making things as overpowered as they used to that they're going too far in the other direction now.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping because they've releasing a model of Chaos Dwarf and Warcry, so maybe they might be leaning to do some more Chaos Dwarfs.
I was talking with Ryan the other day about it, and he said that while it could potentially happen, and I agree with him, that the Chaos Dwarves would end up being their own faction, while the Legion of Asgraith would still be their own like Forge Worldy thing.
Yeah.
I don't expect the armies to get merged into a better book.
No.
I expect them to stay as two different armies, generally, with how Games Workshop would roll.
Yep. So, for not many people will see this army on the list or on any tournaments, really.
It will cost you an arm and a leg to purchase them, and then their rules don't really back up the arm and a leg that you just spent to purchase them.
Yes.
So overall, their Legion's ability is he gets to ignore the first damage caused in the shooting or the combat phase.
I think it's an and, isn't it? I believe he gets to ignore.
Yes, it is. It is an and. So if you shoot a unit in the shooting phase, he gets to ignore the first wound, and then if you charge the same unit, he then gets to ignore the first wound in the combat phase.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at throwing one shooting attack or one melee attack on a unit just because you have it there, don't. It's just not going to do anything.
Yeah.
And when you initially go, that doesn't sound that great. Overall, it's not that great, but you would be surprised the amount of damage it stops.
Yes. Oh yeah.
It surprisingly racks up. It's still not great, but there's probably worse ones out there, is what I'm getting at. So
yeah, that's it. So we'll get on to the leaders. So this is an old character from ages ago. That was what I'm trying to remember when they released that. He's quite an old character.
He's pretty ancient, yeah.
Yeah. Still a nice, beautiful looking model. But
it is Forge World, so you would hope so.
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, we can say that against about everything Forge World, but there's a few things on there that are a bit.
That's true. Yeah.
I figured you'd know, Aiden, being Wolves player in 40k. They got some pretty atrocious things.
We do not utter about those Terminators. Okay, they looked so good in the promo shots, and then people got their hands on them. Like, oh, all my hopes and dreams have been dashed. I don't care the Terminators are bad. I still wanted them.
Well, no, this is not 40k. This is ages segment.
Sorry. Blame Ryan. His fault. Hey.
Yeah. All right. So he has a missile attack, 6 attacks, 16-inch range, 4 on 4s, 1 damage. Yeah, that's okay. For 320, yeah. So the Graven Brazier is melee attack, 1 attack, 4s to hit, 2 to wounds, -1, but flat 3 damage. That's where he's useful.
You say that, but 1 attack, I almost never see that hit when Ryan uses it.
Oh, okay. I've seen it do it once.
Rolling 4s is hard. I can confirm this.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I see who I'm talking to. Yeah. And then Brazen Horns and Teeth. So 2 attacks, 3s and 3s, -2, and then the damage is depending on how much damage he's taken. So, Brazen Horns and Teeth. So be 3 of these 0 to 3, 4 to 5 is D3, 6 to 8 is D3. 9 to 10 wounds, it's just 1 damage, and then anything over 11 is just a flat 1 damage.
Yeah, so on paper, he's a relatively scary monster, but he starts becoming very mediocre once you put a couple of wounds on him.
Yeah.
It really doesn't take much.
No.
And it's only a 4-up save as well. It's easy to get through this, especially if you've got a unit with Rain.
He does reflect mortal wounds back to you on a 5-up in combat, but
Yeah.
so he has a 5-up feel no pain, is it, or is it just on a 5-up on his save? It's one or the other.
I think it's a 5-up feel no pain, but it needs to be a 6 to reflect it.
Yeah, so roll a dice each time you allocate a wound inflicted in a melee weapon to this model. On a 5-up, the wound is neglected and the attacking unit suffers 1 mortal wound.
Yeah, so he's relatively tanky, and he's still also to ignoring your first wound that you do to him in every phase. So
Yeah.
you can roll 5-ups. He's quite tanky, so you don't really want to be throwing chaff into this guy because
You'll just eat them up.
he will eat them up, assuming that the dice rolls are behind him. And we're talking about Ryan here, so you're probably fine.
It will go his way, yeah.
I mean, this is other Ryan. He's not been rolling very well recently.
I think the highest he's seen most games is a 4.
Oh, okay.
And that's rare. Like, that's the rarity of a 6. So, yeah, he hasn't been going too well lately.
Oh, okay.
He used up all his luck last year. I'm pretty sure.
And then he's got one more melee attack, which is burning hooves. So it's 4s and 3s, neg 1 damage. And again, it's how many wounds. It depends on how many attacks. So it's 6, 5, 4, 3, and then 2.
I think that's like we're saying, that's the thing that really hurts him is he just loses so much as he takes wounds.
Yeah, that's it. This unit can fly. That took a little while to get that back on.
Because I forgot to add fly to the giant winged bull.
Yep, that's it.
Mate, the wings are just for show, okay? Can you imagine how much, like, iconography you could have draped over those wings? They're just there for show, mate.
That's it, yeah. Yeah, he's the next Scarbrand.
Yeah, exactly.
So abilities, burning body. So that's at the start of combat phase. Roll 1 dice for each units within 3 of this model. On a 4-up, suffers 1 mortal wound. Yeah, that's pretty good. The blood rage, so you can re-roll wound rolls for attacks made with the cinder breath, brazen horns, and teeth if this model has made a charge in the same turn, which is always good. We spoke about the amulet, which is the one that on a 5-up, the wound is neglected and it suffers 1 mortal wound, but that's only for melee. And then Prophet of Ash and Flame, so add 1 to the casting roll if it's being fought in the Realm of Fire. So he'll be hoping to get a Realm of Fire table at the event, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is probably one of the most useful things is the command ability. So just at the start of battle shock phase, if this model is on the battlefield, if you do so, do not take battle shock tests for friendly Legion of Azure units while they are wholly within 24 of this model. And 24 is quite a big bubble, so you should be able to wrap a lot in that.
You would say that until you see the command abilities on the other characters he has, and then the lack of battalions and lack of command points he struggles with.
Yes, I do forget he's struggling at the moment, isn't he? And then, of course, this model is a wizard, so he's got Flames of Azure, so casting value of 8, successfully cast, pick a unit with an 18 that's visible to him, suffers D6 mortal wounds. In addition, subtract 1 from that unit's bravery until the end of the turn, which is bloody good, I reckon.
Probably doesn't need to be an 8, considering the army doesn't really have any way to boost its own spellcasting. Like an 8 on a straight 2d6 is incredibly unreliable.
Yeah, I mean, if he's near terrain where he can get that +1, so it's down to a 7, you'd be all right. But
yeah, 7. Even still, I find 7 quite unreliable on 2d6.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets that off, especially if it's like on a goblins or a low bravery unit,
Skaven,
without
one of the bravery negators around.
Yeah. But 8 is quite high for the casting, considering like my Zinch, 7 is on a lot of it.
Yes, and Neg 1 bravery, cool. But it's also to only D6 mortal wounds. And, like, I get that D6 is a lot, but...
But if you roll 1, you roll 1.
Exactly. It's a D6. You could roll a 1 and a 2 and be like, eh.
Yeah.
Like, if it was 2D3 and neg 1 to bravery, maybe? maybe I would be like, okay, that's worth an 8. But yeah, it's a decent spell, and if you get it off, you get it off. But it's not something you're going to want to be relying on because it's not reliable.
Yeah, that's it. So then the Bull Centaur, Turok.
This guy is a monster.
Oh well, I'll let you talk about it since you know so much.
Honestly,
Let me pull up the stats. All
I
I
have found
know,
it does more than Draz. And
yes,
it's like
he does
half the point, and it
consistently.
does better all the time.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play against Ryan yet, so
I gotta be honest, like I've never actually bothered to look at his points values, and I always thought the Bull Centaur would probably have been more than Draz.
I don't actually have the. Oh, hang on. I do. Haha! Alright. So, 7-inch move, because, he's a Centaur. Gotta be a horsey bull thing. 7 wounds, 4 up save, bravery 7. He's character. Bravery's not gonna matter too much for him.
yeah.
His main shtick is 5 attacks, hits on 3s, wins on 3s, -2 rend, and flat 3 damage. He is a monster.
Oh yeah.
And
he's taking him as his general too, so
yes. He then also has his hooves as well, which are 3 attacks, 4s and 4s, -1 damage, like standard hoove stuff. It's the axe that is the scary thing.
yeah.
He gets +1 to his charge rolls.
Yep.
And in addition, on the turn that he charged, his hooves are D3 damage instead of 1. Nice chaff clearing, considering that his axe is already flat 3 damage. Do not run like clan rats or something small into this guy, because you will just lose a unit.
Oh yeah.
I've had a few times where I run like a small or even fairly elite unit into it, thinking that they'll do a pretty good job of hurting him, only to have it do pretty much nothing.
And he's also not a named character. He's just normal. So drop Jazz and just take 3 of them. Success.
From memory, the armor he's put on them, the command trait was like -1 to hit on him or something like that.
Grotesque.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's -1 to hit.
Yeah. So, which is, and what is he? 7 wounds. So yeah.
And then he has a command ability. At the start of the combat phase, pick 1 friendly model. Sorry.
Yeah, pick 1 friendly model with his command ability.
Yeah, and you add +1 to attacks made by melee weapons of friendly Bael'Har units, which are the Bull Centaurs, I believe.
Yes, that's the only ones. Bull Centaur and maybe the name character one?
And him himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, so generally he drops them on the Bull Centaurs, which are quite a nice unit as well.
Yeah. And that's wholly within 12, so that's feasible since he's running 3 units of them, so yeah.
2 units.
2 units of 3.
Yeah.
I think he has run 3 units before, but he's only running 2 in this.
I did. I faced that list. That was not a fun time.
Yeah. The Demon Smith. Yeah.
The artillery pieces, I believe.
Yeah.
So the Demon Smith, generic caster level melee, 2 attacks, hits 3s, wins 3s, -1, D3 damage. You don't really want him as combat.
No.
He gets +1 to unbinding rolls if he's taken a wound.
Yeah.
Kinda cool, but you probably don't want him taking wounds.
No.
He's generally going to be sitting somewhere. He's not probably going to be taking wounds. Or if he's taking wounds, something's probably going wrong.
So he's a level 1 wizard, knows Arcane Bolt, Mystic Shield, and his inbuilt spell called Ash Storm, which is a casting value of 6. Pick 1 enemy unit within 36 inches of the caster and is visible to them. Until your next hero phase, subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made by that unit. And that unit cannot run.
And that's good.
So that's quite a nice little debuff there, and a lot of range too. So he can sit back and throw it out.
Well, that essentially neutralizes if someone's got spare command points to go, I'm going to give this unit a 6-up run.
Yes.
It's
Or,
like,
or you've got a unit, say, like Witch Elves that can run and charge. Suddenly they're not making that charge on the turn that they were expecting to be able to make that charge.
yep, that's it. They've got to walk up there.
So,
Yeah, it's I think it's the one army that's actually been able to sort of stop me getting him charging everything in turn 1.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
so nice little El Cheapo caster there. And then he's got the Infernal Guard, Castellan.
I can't actually even think what that one is, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure he's the one who gives out whose command ability is +1 to wound on a target unit. He's got a pistol. Pistol is 1 attack, force to hit, force to wound, -1 damage. I won't show him Warlock Engineer's pistols, shall I?
No.
No. He's got 4 attacks melee, hits on 3s, wounds on 3s, -1. Ren, 2 damage. So nice little beat stick in melee.
Yeah.
And then his command ability is pick an enemy unit within 12 of a friendly model with this command ability. Until the start of your next hero phase, add 1 to wound from attacks made by friendly Legion of Azgoth units that target that unit. The same unit cannot be picked as a target of this command ability more than once per hero phase.
Yeah.
So yes, +1 to wound on everything. So melee, artillery, guns, a real nice little command ability there.
Yep. Yeah, so he's going to use him just to hide him up so that way he can just buff up with whatever centaurs or fireborn or even the rockets.
Yeah, the rockets. It's only 12 inches, so he's got to be kind of close to you, but it's once it's on, the entire army gets it. So
yep. Yeah. So the Iron Sworn. So he's taking 2 units of 10. So what is it? The leader gets a pistol. Okay, so it's force balls, -1, 1 damage, 8-inch range. Yeah. Not very good.
Might as well not exist.
Yeah.
And then the hand weapons are 3s, 4s, -1, 1 damage.
Yep, which is good.
It's a nice profile. I just like compared to you look at all the other like core main battle line units these days, and isn't 2 attacks now generally the standard besides like 6-point models like Clan Rats or something like that?
Yeah, well, it's Forge World, so it's a little bit behind the time. I think their upgrades are a little bit sad though. You know, it's like give them a icon bearer, add 1 to bravery. Okay, so the 7s, yeah, that's right. The drummers
to run rolls. It's a worse Skaven ability because they get 2 instead.
because isn't most drummers in that they get like a run and charge or
Well, the
reroll
Skaven,
charge.
the Skaven one is they get +2 inches to their run, which is while it's only an extra inch, and you go, oh well, it's only an extra inch, but when Skaven have 6-inch moves base compared to the 4 of a dwarf,
yeah,
you're up to 8 inches before you add your d6, and the horde starts moving incredibly fast across the board.
Yeah, and probably one of the most useful things I reckon in this unit is this unmodified save roll. With melee weapons, if there's a 6, the unit suffers a mortal wound back to it.
Yeah. It makes them a surprisingly nice little target. They have got a 4-up save as well, so you go stick them in cover. They got a 3-up save.
Yeah.
Throw them mortal wounds back.
Yep.
They're not bad. They probably just need 1 more attack on their melee weapon.
Yeah. Well, they did go down by 10 points, so.
Yeah, at 9 point, like a Dryad without the point decrease is a single more point.
Yeah.
And they're around the same durability, but have neg 1 to hit instead of reflecting mortal wounds back. Like, and a 2-inch reach and an extra attack. Like, it's a bit rough for the little old Ironsworn.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. All right, so we go to the Fireglaive guys. So 16-inch range, 1 attack, 4s and 4s, neg 1, 1 damage. Yeah. The leader gets a pistol, which, yeah, okay.
Which you don't
usually
want
in
because
range.
it's half the range.
Yeah, it's 8-inch, which, okay.
If an unmodified hit roll is made for the pistol or the rifles,
Yes.
the attack inflicts 1 mortal wound in addition to any normal damage. In addition, you can re-roll hit rolls of 1 for this attack if it targets the...
If they haven't moved in the same
If they have
turn.
not moved,
So, yeah.
Nice little shooting unit.
Yep, that's it. So, and he's just taking one of those, so, yeah. Okay.
And then some artillery.
Yep, so Magma Cannon.
Magma Cannon is what I wish I had. It's pretty good. If the Demon Smith, so the little wizard with the neg 1 to hit spell, is within 6 inches, it adds it adds 6 inches to the range if the Demon Smith is within 3.
Yeah.
So that goes from a...
That's 18, so now it's 24.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is quite nice. And all it is or you roll a die on a 3-up, the unit takes mortal wounds equal to the roll, and if the unit is 10 or more, it's on a 2-up, you get +1 to the roll.
Yeah, so you add 1 to the roll if the target unit has 10 or more models. On a 3-up, the target unit suffers mortal wounds equal to the roll.
Yeah, so just don't roll 1 or 2. Aim for your 5s and 6s and just spit out mortal wounds.
Yeah. In addition, this unit cannot run or charge. Makes sense. But you add 1 to save rolls for attacks that are missiles, weapons that target this unit.
3-up save from missiles.
Yeah. Yeah. So survivable, it's 6 wounds.
6 wounds, 3-up save.
Yeah. You just keep it in the backfield and just hopefully it hits something.
Yeah. Just roll above a 1 or a 2 and you're fine.
That's it. So now the next one is the Death Streaker rocket launcher. So 36 range, 3 attacks, 4s to hit, 3s to wound, neg 1, D3 damage. So if it targets an enemy unit that are not visible to the attack, this model can target enemy units that are not visible. So if it's hiding in wherever, they can hit it. In addition, they can add 1 to hit rolls if the target unit has 5 or more models.
No hiding in trees for all of our Sylvaneth players.
No,
Rockets everywhere.
So it's pretty much the catapult from Plague Pestilence.
Just not as good.
Just not as good yet.
But cheaper.
So if you've got a Demon Smith, you add 1 to the attack characteristic, which, that changes it from 3 attacks to 4 attacks. So on average, you should be getting at least 2. If you roll really well, 3. And again, got the same ability as the other one. It can't run or charge, but it can add 1 to save rolls of attacks made with missile weapons that target this unit or this model.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the Bull Centaurs renders. So Dark Forge weapons, 3 attacks, 4s, 3s, neg 1, flat 2 damage, which is nice. It's always good to see that.
And if we go back to before, the character generally gives them +1 to hit as well.
Yes, so it's now 3s.
Yes.
3s and 3s.
Yeah.
Yep. And any unmodified save rolls for attack with a melee weapon that targets this unit, that includes any models carrying a spike shield, is 6. The attacking unit suffers 1 mortal wound. And then you can add 1 to charge rolls for this unit. In addition, the Crushing Hooves have a damage characteristic of D3 instead of 1 if it's charged in the same turn.
So that with the +1s hit, they just become an all-round purpose-killing unit. They're really scary.
I feel like if you're taking the Bull Centaur, the Turek as your general, they should be made battle line.
Battleline.
Yeah,
But as we've discussed, Forge World is behind the times.
Yeah.
So
they are really behind the times. And then we'll go into the Fireborn.
I personally really like the Fireborn. So 4 wounds each, 5 ups, unmodifiable save. They have an 8-inch move. The biggest draw to them is that they have a 3-inch reach with 5 attacks, hits on 3s, wounds on 3s.
Wounds on 4s.
Wounds on 4s, wounding on 3s when you got your guard Castellan giving +1 to wound.
Yep.
No rend, but flat, but D3 damage.
Yeah.
So 5 attacks each at D3 damage with a 3-inch reach means you can sit behind your little dwarves and smack over them.
Yeah.
And if an attack gets through, then you're suddenly hurting. So
Yeah, and they ignore modifiers, so positives or negatives, when making save rolls to target this unit. In addition, they can run and still charge late in the same turn.
yes.
That's what's good. And then at the end of the combat phase, roll 1 dice for each enemy unit within 3. On a 2-up, suffer 1 mortal wound. Which is, that's okay.
The same thing Colonel Hunters have, really.
Yeah.
Free. You're never going to say no to free mortal wounds.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Anything that can give you more mortal wounds and they can't save them back, you're going to take them.
Yes.
All right.
Mortal wounds are friend.
Yep. All right, so which one? Oh, we'll do Blades of Khorne.
Blood for the Blood God, Skulls for the Skull Throne.
That's it. That's exactly it. All right, so now unfortunately I don't have the book, so I'm going. Yeah. So Khorne, so Slaughterhouse Reapers of Vengeance. Okay, I don't know what they do. Bloodthirster of Vincent's Raid. He's the general command trait, Mage Eater. So I have a feeling that's something to do.
Killing mages.
Yeah, pretty much killing mages. Yeah. Well, if Connor's in the thing, I'm sure he might be able to tell me.
So the Incense Rage one is number of 2-inch reach. Number of attacks is downgrading. Hits on 4s, wounds on 2, -2 rend, and D6 damage. Big scary damage.
Yeah.
14's wounds with a 4-up save.
Mm-hmm.
You can reroll hit rolls of 1 on the turn that this model charges.
Yep.
If the unmodified wound roll for attacks made by this model is a 6, each enemy unit within 8 inches of this model suffers the number of mortal wounds shown on the damage table in addition to any other damage, starting at 4 mortal wounds and slowly going down to 1.
Yep.
Sorry,
Okay.
swinging his axe around so large, he's just chopping other people up.
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah.
And his command ability is reroll charge phases for reroll charge rolls for friendly Khorne demon units wholly within 16 of him.
Okay, that's a pretty good one. Yeah.
So
He's taking Skullbrain. Okay.
Nasty Bloodthirster.
Yeah, nasty Bloodthirster. Can't fly, but yeah. Blood Secretor, because he wants to get that banner doing its thing.
yeah.
Slaughter Priest, Blood Blessing, Killing Frenzy.
Sounds like more attacks to me.
More attacks, yeah. 30 units of Bloodletters.
Well, 30 Bloodletters. Gore-drenched Icon.
Yep.
Yeah. What I was honestly surprised to see is not a lot of minimum units of Blood Reavers.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know about Blood Reavers because they used to be really good, but then they changed the points on them. You used to see huge army, like big 30 blocks of them because they were cheap as chips.
Yeah, but like they're 7 points each, and that's before a discount, assuming that they get one.
Yeah.
But even at like 70 points each, you just take 2 or 3 units of them,
Yeah.
and they just go hold objectives for you. And if they don't and they die, they give you blood tithe points, and you get another bloodthirster, and it's just a great thing. It's just more bloodthirsters
Oh,
because bloodthirsters are friends.
Yeah. Yeah, well, with the Gore Tide Drench, if he rolls a 1 on his battle shock, he can return the demons back.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm surprised he's doing 30 because that was the old way. I know. Maybe it's still the way. Like I said, I don't play Khorne, so I can't really state. But they had you could modify their 6 so they could do the mortal wounds. Now it's just an unmodifiable 6. And there was a bit of a angriness about that. so
Yeah, but that's just the way the game is going now. Is that it's switching
Yeah.
to unmodifiables? So
yeah, because you're getting a lot of the neg 1s to hits and neg 2s to hits now. So you want to still get those attacks in, even if they're on a 6.
yeah, and they're still not shabby. Like they're still hits on 4s, wins on 3, -1 rend, 1 damage. Like they're not nothing to sniff at. So
So Connor hasn't taken a battalion either, so don't need to worry about that. Some Blood Warriors, which, yeah, I always think they need to come down by another 20 points, but that's just me. They're a solid unit. Gorax, Gorefist, and Goreglaive.
do the Gore Fist still knock back
Mortal Wounds.
mortal wounds?
I believe it does, yep.
Gore Fist. If an unmodified save roll for an attack is a 6, yeah. So if you roll same as the Witch Elves. If you roll a 6 on your save, you smack them back in the face for a mortal wound.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Blood Reavers, we spoke about.
Yeah,
want
just-
more of those.
Just 4s and 4s, neg 1 damage.
Blood Crushers. So these are the
demon
tribe?
ones.
Yep.
Yes.
Blood Crushers are the bloodletters on the thing.
Yes. And Skull Crushers are the mortals.
That's it. Yeah. I always get them around the wrong way.
Yeah, so Blood Crushers themselves, you got the Bloodletter Hellblade, 4s and 3s, neg 1 damage.
Yep.
And then you got the Brazen Who's from them out, which are 3 attacks each, 3s and 3s, no rend, 1 damage.
Yeah.
The Sarge gets +1 attack with his Hellblade. You can have a Banner, which is unmodified Battle Shock, gives them models back.
Connor's just let me know that now I know why he's taking 30 Bloodletters. Is because his command ability lets him fight twice with a demon unit.
Ah, yes.
That's why he's taking it.
Yes. Fair enough.
Yep, fair enough. And then the Wrathmongers, they had a bit of a change.
You mean I don't have to worry about Durthu killing himself anymore?
That's the one.
I'm so happy.
To find a way to do it.
So I have to have a read up and see what they do now, unless you've got them right in front of you.
Add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by this unit on the turn that they charge. So normally 2-inch reach, 4 attacks, 4s and 3s, -1, 1 damage. So
Yep.
3s and 3s on the charge. Add 1 to the attack characteristics of melee weapons used by Khorne units while they are wholly within 8 inches of any unit with this ability. This has no effect on Wrathmongers.
Yeah.
So Bloodletters suddenly 2 attacks each, fighting twice.
Yeah, they're going to rip through.
Because it's any Khorne unit.
Yep.
If a model in this unit is slain before it is removed from play, roll a die for each enemy unit within 1 inch of that model. Add 1 to the dice roll if 2 or more models from an enemy unit are within 1 of the slain model. On a 1, nothing happens. On a 2 to a 5, the enemy unit suffers 1 mortal wound after all of its attacks have been resolved. On a 6+, they suffer D3 mortal wounds instead.
Yeah.
So they still do damage when they die, but it's not like Durthu committing Sudoku on his sword and stabbing himself through the chest.
Yeah, that's it.
So
And then the endless spells or endless judgments.
endless prayer.
Yeah, it's Hex Gorgeous Skulls. So those are
I am
the.
unfamiliar.
I think those are the anti-casting ones.
Would make sense.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that comes to 1950 points.
Yeah. So what's he got? One extra command point. So he's
So
maybe
he's
using.
bought a command point.
He might have brought a command point. Yeah.
Yep.
Which you would because you want to make sure you get those demons doing extra attacks.
Yes. And because you're probably going to spend a command point on a run or a charge reroll at some point somewhere, so
Yeah.
having one in a back pocket is not a bad thing.
That's it. Yeah. All right. We'll do we'll do Ben, then we'll do the Purple Peter Eaters.
The Iron Jaws!
Yes, destruction.
The biggest orcs are the best.
Yeah.
Something orky.
Yeah. Now this is an army I have gone up against, but not here in Cairns.
Mhm.
So when I went up there for work, so he's brought 2 mega boss. Sorry, one's on Maw-Crusher and the other's just on foot. So
It doesn't matter, it's still a mega boss. He's
Yeah.
like taller than me.
yeah. Yeah, so General Command Try Ironclad. I have no idea what this does.
That sounds like something to saves.
Yeah, I have a feeling it'll be safe. Boss is Gore Hacker and Scrap Tooth.
By the power of my phone, I will find stats.
yeah. Sword of Judgment or Sword of Japan. Yeah, we all know what that one does.
That's the Begone Hero one, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, Mega Boss on Maw-Crusher.
Yep.
Gore Hacker. Boss Gore Hacker. 2-inch range, 3 attacks, 3s and 3s, -1, 2 damage. And Scrap Tooth is 4 attacks, 3s and 3s, Ren dash 1 damage. So lots of attacks.
Yep. Yeah.
And then the Maw-Crusher himself is 4 attacks, 2 hit, starts on 2s and downgrades to 6s, depending on wounds. 3s to wound, -2, Rend, flat 3 damage. And the tail is D3 attacks, hits on 4s, wounds on 3s, -1, Rend, 1 damage. So both the orc on top and the dragon below are going to smack you around for much, much pain.
And that
Yeah.
artifact, the Dimensional Blade, that's malign sorcery one. That's give a weapon -3 rend.
Oh, okay. So he wants to do some damage. All right.
So,
That's why he's picked Olgu as his realm, so he can take that.
Yep. The War Chant, the Boss Skewer. I don't know what that does. I say I was waiting until the new book came out before I was going to get this army. So Orc Weird Noob Shaman. So that's obviously just to do a bit of dispelling. Piggies. So if anyone watches Warhammer Weekly, Vince will be approve this list.
I can't believe that the pigs are battle line.
Everything is battle line.
That is crazy.
Yeah. But they've got, what is it, 3 units, and the rest are heroes. So you got the brutes, the grunters, and then the
Black
orcs. Yeah, they're all Black Orcs.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, and then the rest they've got more heroes in units.
They're Hero Hammer the army.
Yeah, that's it. I have a sneaky feeling he might be looking at taking that ability to get them to run off on the first, because Iron Fist and Iron Sun, the battalions. I'm sure I played against this at BrizCon, and one of them was roll a dice, it gives you extra attacks, and the other one is roll free movement at the start of the battle.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the pig iron choppers that the grunters have are 3s and 3s -1, 1 damage.
Yep.
And the pigs themselves, and that's 3 attacks each.
Yeah.
And the pigs themselves are 4 attacks, 4s, 4s, minus nothing, 1 damage.
Yeah.
And then the brutes themselves, what have they got with? Pairs of choppers
Yep.
and 1 gore ripper.
The gore choppers. Yeah.
Jagged gore chopper. 3 attacks, 3s to hit, 3s to wear, -1, ran 1 damage.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. That's the Jagged Gore Hacker. My bad.
Yep.
The Gore Choppers are 3 attacks, 4s and 3s, -1, D3 damage. And then the pair of Brute Choppers, 2 Brute Choppers is 4 attacks, 3s and 3s, -1, 1 damage. Does this army only do like 3s and 3s? Like, I get it that it's an elite army, but
I think the brutes also, if they go up against multi-wounded, I think it's 3 or more. They can do
you can reroll fail rolls to hit for Orc Brutes if the target has wound characteristics of 4 or more.
4
Okay.
more. That's it.
Do
Yeah.
not run Kernoth Hunters into Brutes.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I sent my hero into them without understanding. Because I've gone against Gore Grunters, but never Brutes, and yeah.
Brutes kill big stuff.
Yeah.
Got
The
it.
only time I've ever gone against Brutes was my KO army, and I took them off turn 1.
Much shooting.
Yeah, much shooting. So, but yeah, those piggies, they'll just run across the board for turn 1 and just
Charge
roast. Yeah. But once they've got into combat and that's it, they're done. Yeah, they're okay, but they're not going to have the same impact.
Mhm.
So,
Cool.
yeah, so that's 2,000 exactly.
123 wounds in that list.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right, the purple people eaters.
Purple people eaters.
So this is Wes's list. He's taking Gristle Gore.
What does Gristle do?
Gristle Gore's the one where you can take Terrorgeist and that
As
is
battle
battle line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Abhorrent Archregent.
Yeah.
He's the one out of the Skaven, out of the Carrion Court Empire box, isn't he?
Yes, and I have him on my filing cabinet here. He's a nice looking model.
Cool.
Yeah. He can do summoning as well.
And he's also a level 2 wizard, isn't he, compared to the level 1 of everything else?
Yep.
Yeah.
I went against him in my 3rd game at Briscon and took him off turn 1 with my Skyfires.
Yep.
He was pretty much useless after that.
And then Grimgas, Crypt Gas Courier, so Courtier, sorry.
Courtier, yep.
So more summoning, I believe. Well, that was their old book anyway. The Courtiers were summoning.
Yeah. I haven't got their new book, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's. Well, I have the power of the phone.
I guess.
But yes, the army, as one can see, is 4 big Terrorgeists, and that's about it.
Yeah, with 20 crit rules. So he's obviously going to use the Terrorgeist to try and do all the damage, and the crit rules probably be the objective captures, probably, and just summon.
So the Abhorrent Archregent has 7 attacks. Hits on 3s, wins on 3s, -1, 1 damage. So, yeah, he's not terrible. Don't run like a small character against him.
Yeah. Now, the Courtier can regenerate units too, so he's probably obviously going to run them behind the Crypt Ghouls or something like that.
When I can get to the...
Oh, well, I'll let you finish the Archregent first.
Oh, sorry, I already clicked off of him.
Oh,
in your hero phase, you can heal 3 wounds allocated to this model.
yeah. Okay.
He just heals, and he can summon Imperial Guard. What is this, 40k?
Yeah.
Pick one, summon 1 Courtier, or 1 unit of 3 Knights, or 1 unit of Saris. So
those are the Flayers or the Horrors, I believe. So one's the Ogre-style Crypt Ghouls, and the other one's the Flyers. because
of 3 or 20 more ghouls.
Wes, can you let me know what the Morshard and Spectral Host do, mate, if you're there? Because I don't know what they do. But then he's got a Ghoul King on Terrorgeist, always good. Then he's got the other one, which is a general. He's got Savage Strike and Gruesome Bite. 20 Crypt Ghouls. Then he's got the 2 Royal Battle Line. Then he's got the Chalice, which is essential for any Crypt Ghoul list.
Which
Yeah,
is what? More healing? Bring more back?
So
more
what happens there is, doesn't matter whether it's your opponent's or yours, the amount of slain units, so they go into the Chalice. So, you might kill 10 or 2. So what you can use is either to return, so Crypt Ghouls, for instance, one, so I think they can only be 1 wound models, but I'll have to double check. Or you can use it to heal up a unit. So like it's Royal is Terrorgeist and all that.
Terrorgeist or stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is that he's stealing Khorne's shtick.
Yeah. He essentially wants to be Khorne, but he doesn't have the guts to go as Khorne.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. So he pretty much wants to get turn 1 and just run and charge and see if he can beat the living crap out of you.
Run and charge, scream at you with some Terrorgeist, hope that you run away because your brains melt from getting screamed at.
Yeah. And any losses he takes or from you, he just goes to restore units or heal units back.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Just relying on big monster smash.
Yes, big monster smash.
Big monster smash.
Yep. And then our final list for the evening is Zach Lear's, and that's Nurgles.
I want to point out, right, we have, what, 10 lists so far? And we have 5 greater demons rocking around in this corner. I love it. I
know, it's great to see, isn't it?
The Chaos players are like, and you can have a greater demon, and you can have a greater demon. Everyone gets a greater demon. I love it.
Yep, that's it.
I do approve.
Yeah. So hopefully, if we get more people, we might have one of each. So have a Celeste, Lord of Change, and complete the set. We've already got Archaea on there.
Vermin Lords will be there next year.
Oh yeah, Vermin Lords. Yep.
I'm a Chaos God now. As much as I detest it, I am the 5th Chaos God. Deal with
it. That's it. So he's taking Nurgle. So this Great Unclean one will be General Command Trait Pestilent Breath.
Sounds like mortal wounds to me.
Yep.
He has opted for the both damage weapons on the Great Unclean ones, so trying to do as much damage with their melee attacks as possible.
Yeah.
Not the buffy, Ori, supporty ones.
No.
Though they still are all casters as well, so I believe the name ones are level 2, and the other ones are 1, or maybe they're all level 2.
I'm not sure, but I'll be able to find out what the command trait is, because I do have the book, because I've got a small army here.
So the normal Great Unclean ones are level 2 wizards, and Rodigus is probably level 3 then? No, he's level 2 as well. So 6 spells a turn.
Yep. So the command trait, where is it? So Pestilent Breath, at the start of your shooting phase, pick 1 unit within 6 of your general. Roll a dice for each model in that unit. That unit suffers 1 mortal wound for each roll of a 5 up.
Oh, it's a worse Wolfire Thrower. Got it.
Yeah.
Skaven OP confirmed.
Yeah.
Cool. Mm. So with the massive Bile Sword, because we could have a small one, but we got to go with the massive one, and the Plague Flails, each Great Unclean one, with the flails.
He's mentioned in chat the second Great Unclean one is wrong. It's Bella and Bileblade.
So supporty. Cool.
Okay, so yeah, the second one's a buff. I was wondering why he was taking 2 offensive ones. You normally have one that's buffing and the other one that... Alright, yeah, because he's got the Wither Staff, which... that's Rockbringer. Oh, here we go. Wither Staff. So, Wither Staff, what it is, reroll hit rolls of 6s for enemy units while they're within 12 of the bearer. So...
Nice.
So if you've got something that, like, you need those 6s, you have to re-roll those.
Kurnoth Hunters, Bloodletters. Man,
Yeah.
can we have Khorne vs Nurgle?
Yeah. Be nice to see that, wouldn't it?
Oh, I bet you the Khorne player doesn't want to see it, but
No. Yeah. So if he's taking the one with the bell, I'll just bring that up. Where were we? Great Unclean one. Alright, so where is it?
16 wounds per big Great Unclean one.
Yep.
With a 4-up save, they are not going anywhere very quickly. Oh, and a 5-up feel no pain. Of course, why wouldn't they?
Yeah, why not?
And on a 6-up in combat, the enemy suffers a mortal wound. This is starting to sound a lot like Daughters of Cain. I'm seeing familiarities here, and I'm gonna have nightmares.
Yeah. Where is it? Yeah, so if he's running the bell, so the summon, so if a Nurgle unit begins its movement within 7 inches of this model with the Doom spell, add 3 to its move characteristic until the end of the phase.
So, that thrice-fold Befoulment, is that the one for
Yep,
moving
that's...
plague drones faster?
No, I think that's the one where you run the 3... Oh, here we go, I'll bring it up. Yeah, so you're running the 3 Great Unclean ones.
Yep.
So the abilities is Hungry for the Plague, God's Praise, to reroll hit rolls of 1 for the models on this battalion while they are within 14 inches of each of the model or from this battalion. In addition, you can reroll rolls of 1 for models from this battalion while they are within 14 of the 2 other models. And then you've got Plague Storm of Nurgle. So if a model from this battalion successfully casts the Plague Wind spell, when it's within 7 of another model from this battalion, then the number of mortal wounds inflicted by that spell is increased from D3 to 2D3. If it is within 7 inches of the 2 other models, then that number is increased to 3D3 instead.
That's a lot of mortal wounds.
Yeah, so he's going to be trying to get that off as much as he can.
So it's just going to be 3 Great Unclean ones walking down the center of the table, throwing mortal wounds out.
Yeah.
And
you get a mortal wound. You get a mortal wound.
You just die because I've drowned you under mortal wounds. And then I'm going to charge you and smack you around with some swords and a staff.
Yeah. And then you got Rotigus there. He's not bad.
I looked at him, right, for a... I get it that he is a greater demon, but for a caster, he uses his Pimp Cane quite well, I will say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Not to mention if you're within 6 inches of a enemy unit, they suffer D3. And enemy units that fly suffer D3 on a 6 instead of a 4, so, okay. So if you're flying, it's harder. But he can. I think the main thing is he can heal wounds to himself.
Well, they heal D3 wounds at the start of the hero phase.
Yeah. So what's it? He gets 5. Yeah. So he has a 5-up wound that is negated. In addition, if the roll is a 6, and it's the combat phase, the attacking unit suffers a mortal wound after all the attacks have been made. So,
and his inbuilt spell is casting value of 7.
Yep.
For each roll that equals or beats the Delge of Nurgle's value shown on the table. So 4-up going to a 6-up. you can. So you cast the spell, then you roll 7 dice. Chasing 4-ups when he's unwounded. For each roll that gets a 4-up, you can pick an enemy unit that is visible to the caster. That unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. If more than one roll inflicts mortal wounds, you must pick a different enemy unit to suffer each set of mortal wounds.
Yeah.
So just you get some mortal wounds, and you get some mortal wounds.
Yeah.
Everyone gets some mortal wounds.
That's it. Yeah.
Cool.
And then he gets his units. So he's got 5 Chaos Warriors, hand weapon and shield.
Cheap.
Yeah, I think it's just he needed some battle line. And he's just using them.
Yes.
He's taking the Mark of Nurgle. 20 Plague Bearers, which is where he's just going to use them to run them across the field. You know, especially if he gets the right roll at the start of the battle on his 7-sided dial.
On his table, yeah. And with the trees and that around, he can run and charge if he ends up near a tree.
Yep. So
at 20, they should be large enough to get the -1 to hit a melee and -2 from shooting. Correct?
Yes. I think the max unit is the one that everyone hates. Yeah, or 30. Yeah. And then if you put a wall of blight on them, everyone really hates you after that.
That's when you just go, yes, I will target a different unit this time.
I did that once. The person doesn't talk to me anymore.
Do not blame that person. They made the right decision.
That was just me being dirty, but that's what happens when he decides to bring, a shitload of bloodthirsters.
Ah, well, he probably deserves it then.
Yeah, that's it. Then he's brought 10 Plague Bearers. So just
battle lines.
Yeah, and then Plague Drones, which he's converted them up from Plague Toads.
Oh, I'm keen to see them then.
Oh yeah,
they should look awesome.
Yeah. So 400 points Plague Drones. I think that's a bit pricey for them, but that's just my opinion.
What are the drones like compared to the Chaos compared to the Blight ones, the ones with the Black Kings on them? Because I've only ever seen the mortal version of them.
Yeah, I think because I remember, who was it? And Coach might be able to help me. The bloke, he does the Pull somebody. I'm trying to remember his channel now. But he did a big statistics on the Plague Drones between the two of them. I think the Plague Drones won out.
Now, the Plague Drones seem to have more attacks overall, which is probably where they won out.
Yeah. Now I've got myself thinking. I've got to look at who the bloke is.
Math and things.
Yeah. Radio Free Hammerhal. That's it. So Paul there went and did a lot of. He compared the two of them.
Yeah.
And Plague Drones won out, but it wasn't by much though.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but if you're going to take the Mortals, you're going to take the leader,
the Harbinger of Decay, and give them a 5-up. Feel no pain.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Black Kings are disgusting with that.
Yeah, so, but Zach's taking more demons, so.
And the Plague Drones do get the 5-up Feel No Pain built into them because they are Plague Bearers, so they're more resilient as well.
Yeah, that's it. So so this is going to be a really interesting list, actually.
Yes, lots of mortal wounds, and then I'm just not going to die, and then the glorious 5 mortals to get converted to Papa Nurgle. That's the reason why they've been brought along.
Yeah.
Is they're here to witness the gifts of Papa Nurgle to join the great cause.
Yeah, that's it.
Because everything else is demons.
Yeah. No, like I say, it's going to be interesting seeing this on the table and see how people go against it. But yeah, so that's everybody's list.
Cool.
Lots of very different lists in there.
Yes.
Lots of monsters overall too.
Well, especially for this region here, where people don't really play against each other as much. We're used to playing the same 4 or 5 of us, and then seeing completely different lists from Rocky and that.
Yeah, all our own little individual metas, because it's an hour and a half travel one way to go play the other guys. So
Yeah, and I've been pushing this, on all the Facebook pages from Mackay down to Fraser Coast and the nationwide Facebook page. So yeah, so it'll be a good day on Tuesday and that. Oh, sorry, Saturday and Sunday. I'm also going to go back on the radio on Friday, probably about 6:30 on 4CC.
Yep.
And spruce it again.
And I believe we have one of our locals who's going to be doing demo games there as well. He's not playing; he's just going to be doing demo games.
Yeah, Stewie's going to do some demos. Yep.
Soul Wars box.
For people who might be interested to come down to see what it's all about.
Yeah. So, how many players is 10 confirmed and all that? We did have some more, but people have dropped off and all that.
Had a few last-minute dropouts this week.
We always get it, so.
It's just the nature of running a tournament.
That's it.
But all you can do is run, and then just hopefully it gets bigger every year because of word of mouth.
That's it. You got to start small.
Exactly. Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, especially since we're not a capital city or anything like that. You got to have your expectations like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. So I've got to do some special thanks before. So special thanks to both you, Aidan and Ryan, for coming on the show. But not only that, but also play testing some of these scenarios for me. So I could put that
proofreading the player pack.
Yeah, and proofreading the player pack and all that. So yes, Horace, it's still 5 games. So also special thanks to Anthony. AO's coach, because I was communicating with him a lot early in the year, what to do player pack wise and all that. So it's very special thanks to you, mate. I do appreciate it. And one of these days we're going to do catch up. But like I say, before we go, I'll just show that Warhammer one more time. I think people have been waiting to see that now. So I'll just grab it.
Have you got an exact measurement on how long it is, Sean?
It's almost my height, and I'm 5'9" and a bit, so it's at least 5'8".
Yeah, that thing's almost as tall as I am.
Yeah, I mean, when he made it for me, so Josh Hawthorne from Grizzly Tech from Brisbane, so he's a mate of mine. He made it for me, and I didn't expect it to be that huge. Actually, I expected maybe half that size, but he went all out for me on doing that.
No, that looks awesome.
Yeah, and trust me, when that first got posted on Twitter, it just went nuts. Yeah, but yeah, no, him doing that, and he did that for free for me as well, which is huge, because he told me that's about $1,200 to do all that up.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not a cheap hammer.
No, it's not a cheap hammer at all. But, like I said, he did that. And when we do the 40K one, he's looking at going to do the Talon of Horus for me as well.
Oh, nice. That will be cool to see.
Oh, yeah. Because he's going to come up here for GladCon, and he wants to borrow the hammer to show it off and all that. So,
yep. Cool.
Yeah, so I've got the prizes all sorted out for Millennium Comics, so they'll be hopefully here tomorrow if everything goes smoothly, and it's just the countdown.
Are we going to have is Millennium going to bring a store down for on-site for the tournament, or are they just doing prize support?
Prize support. I have asked, but they're just too busy, unfortunately.
Yep.
So
No, that's fair enough.
yeah, it's fair enough. So yeah. But other than that, thank you all for watching. I know it's almost 10 o'clock, so it's time for everyone to go to bed. But thank
No, I've still got Kurnoth Hunters to paint. Don't say that bad word.
you still got 2 more days. 2 more days to go.
Oh, mate, Friday is going to be hectic. I can tell you that. I'm so glad I'm not working this Friday.
Oh, see, RDO on Friday, is it?
Yeah, mate. So much basing, so much painting to do.
Oh, well, that's a good day to do all that.
Yeah.
I've got a few things I need to get finished off, but I've got about an hour, 12, hoping to use on Friday. Knock off a bit early.
Yeah. Well, I'm building Josh's build the Gaunt Summoner on disc for him, so
Um,
and then got Vanguard building up for him too.
this is probably more of a us question, but do you need a hand setting up for the weekend?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
So,
You wanting to do that the morning of or the night before?
the afternoon before.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I've spoken to your other club, who, if anyone ever wants to do an event in Gladstone, your other club will give you the room for free.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a big help. I mean, for those that don't know, Gladstone, the cheapest I could get was $600 for 2 days, and these guys just gave it to me for free. So that's why we do all our events there. So
it's awesome.
Yeah.
Being in an air-conditioned room for a tournament, it's so
Oh.
good.
Aircon, there's a bar there. You got food. What more do you need? And there's
I've got,
accommodation too if you get a bit over the top.
Got people
Yes.
in chat asking if we need mats and terrain and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, Wes is going to bring some terrain down for
Yeah,
us.
he's asking what we need.
Oh, how much do you need? Well, I've got some terrain that I'm trying to finish building up, so probably just a table, Wes.
We should be fine for mats because
we
we've
do.
got the club mats, and then enough of the locals here have mats. It's more so the terrain.
So I'm planning to have 6 tables there. So one table won't be used. It'll just be a spare for the
Demo.
demo and all that.
Yep.
So yeah.
Cool.
So because there's going to be only 10 of us, 5, I'm going to be tempted probably to not use the Realm of Shadow. Seems like no one likes that one anyway.
What are you talking about? I don't have any shooting. Yes, please reduce the range. It's just a benefit.
Yes, I'm going to poke
I'm not biased at all.
Nah.
Oh, cool.
So we'll probably have 6 tables. So, but one of the rounds won't be used, at least in one of the rounds. So we'll just alternate.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's the plan. Like I said, when I had the full 12, which at one point was confirmed, I was just going to have only 6 tables. So we'll still do it. It was in the planned. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Awesome.
Unless there's any other questions from the chat or anything like that.
I guess just as a reminder, do look at the player pack, guys, because Urella does have a dress code. Like, we are going into like a actual bar and that, so there's is a little bit of a dress code you need to follow.
Okay, so I better do that now. Yeah, I better do that now since most of the players going on. All right, so no offensive T-shirts should be a given. Do not bring food from outside. That's another given, and because they've got food there and it's reasonably priced and it's quite nice. If you do want to go out for lunch, just eat it wherever you're having your lunch. Yeah. Oh,
and enclosed shoe wear as well.
no, you don't need enclosed shoe wear.
Oh, okay.
Because we're at lunchtime and all that, so
Okay.
that's only evening and all that. But since we're there all day, a little bit, Liz there's pretty lenient on that sort of thing for us.
Fair enough. Cool.
So yeah, but yeah, it's just basic things. If you do want to drink, I won't stop you, but if you start, getting carried away and disrupting, you've got to leave. It's simple as that.
Be a respectful human being.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Won't stop you having a good time, but if you start disrupting other people, that's where I've got to call you. Yeah, so that's about it. That's just the general house rules there.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, all right, well, thanks you two for hopping on, and thank you everyone who stayed up till 10 to watch this, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Happy wargaming till then.
Yeah. Bye for now.
See ya.